And after about 4 to 6 weeks, we were like, this is a real need. Like people need this. And so they keep coming back. Like they're reoccurring customers. So maybe this is a thing.
This is the Healthy Lifestyle Solutions podcast, and I'm your host, Maya Acosta. If you're willing to go with me, together we can discover how simple lifestyle choices can help improve our quality of life. Let's get started. Hello, my beautiful friends. Maya here once again. So I have Chris and Deana Young, the founders of Life Plate Meals, a prepared meal delivery service based in Dallas, my city, where I'm at. Chris and Deanna started their business 2 years ago after experiencing health concerns and realizing the importance of a healthy plant-based diet. Since then, they have been helping people in their community eat healthier and live better through their delicious and nutritious meals. Today, we'll talk to them about their story, business, and vision for the future. As always, the full bio and the links to each of my guests can be found on the website, healthylifestylesolutions.org. And welcome, Chris and Deanna, to the show.
Thank you, Maya.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
I'm excited to know you, learn about your business. I would love for our listeners to learn about you, your story of how you started. And I know you have a culinary background as well.
Absolutely. Yes.
So tell us, first of all, how long have you been in Dallas?
Yes, we've been in Dallas almost 7 years, from Chicago and Northwest Indiana.
Yes.
We met right there, Gary, Indiana. And so we've been here, and it's been a cool experience.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, you guys came together to this way of living and creating your business together. There were some health concerns.
Yes. Chris he had high cholesterol, and I had like wacky stuff. My sugar levels were high, and it was just crazy. And so we knew we needed to do something. We knew that we needed to make a change. And so as a result, we started researching.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It started with, cholesterol concerns. And this is what surprises me. You're very young, and many people are not that interested in their health at your age.
Yeah. So, we watched our family's health deteriorate. His grandfather died with heart disease. He was in his 80s, but just to go through that process of seeing his heart fail, seeing him 10%, 5%, and it just decreased, and he passes away, and we're all there to watch that. It was difficult experiencing that. And then my family, my mother has hypertension, my siblings have hypertension, and the one thing they have in common is what they eat. And so we knew we could change that aspect of our health.
And this happened, Maya, about 5 years ago. 5 years ago, we're sitting down, we're watching a documentary.
What the Health.
It was What the Health. It was. Yeah. Shout out to them. And it just kind of put it all together for us, yes. Right? I had been concerned with my health. I thought I was eating healthy.
We had our lean piece of chicken.
We did.
And our sweet potatoes and green beans.
We did. And we were about the same size, I guess. But our cholesterol levels were high, and I was shocked by that. And we're like, what's going on here? And he said, it's the chicken breast.
Oh, my God.
And I didn't know it was chicken breast.
Yeah. So, we watched the documentary. We emptied out our cabinets and started the journey of plant eating. And it just started with eating a whole bunch of pasta and salads and French fries, because that's what we had access to. And then the culinary in me just had to start creating. And so that's what we did.
Tell us about that culinary experience.
Yeah. So I started working in food service when I was about 13. I started working with a caterer. She was from West Africa, and I was in the kitchen with her. We did huge weddings, 400 and 500 people. And it ignited something in me where I knew that I enjoy this. And so I would be home and I would make all kinds of healthy cookies with applesauce and just try things, get in cookbooks and just have fun, watch cooking shows. I didn't watch cartoons growing up. I watched Emerald Lagasse. So that's kind of how I spent my time. And then I would go in the kitchen and recreate with my mom.
Yeah.
So I always was in the kitchen. And then I started working in child nutrition when I was about 17, 18. And I wanted to learn more. I knew that that there was more to learn, and I wanted to expand. And so I went to the local community college, and I enrolled in the culinary program. Oh. And it was so much fun just being in the kitchen and creating with those students and messing up stuff. And and then I said, hey, I want to do this more. I wasn't sure which route to take. I did receive a scholarship for a local hospitality program. and I felt like it was going to box me in. So
Mhm.
I was struggling with that. And I studied business. And so I have the culinary background and the business background, which kind of
Perfect.
tie really great together to do what we're doing now.
Yeah.
And just to add to that, Maya, this diet, at least to the degree that we've been able to keep it up, wouldn't be possible without her skill and her talent.
Yeah.
So it's not just how she's classically trained to cook,
Mhm.
it's her love for learning new things and creating new things. And that's what we've been able to enjoy at home every night.
Wonderful. Who told you about What the Help? Did it just show up?
We were just perusing Netflix,
Uh-huh.
at home. And I love watching
Back when we had time.
Yeah, that doesn't happen too much anymore.
Oh.
And we were home, and I said, "Oh, this is a documentary about health." And so we were kind of thinking about that stuff. And I turned it on while we were just moving around the house doing stuff. And I'm sitting on the couch watching it. And then Chris was walking around, and he's like, "What is this?" And so I was like, "It's a documentary." And so we find ourselves sitting on the couch, like just entrenched in watching this documentary. And we're like, "Oh my goodness!" And I think we talked about it for like hours on end afterwards because we knew that it was significant for us and our family.
Some people can watch that film and never be impacted. They might
Exactly.
say, well, whatever. And then maybe other seeds have to be planted before they make that change. But it sounds like you did it overnight.
Yeah, it happened so fast. I think it threw everyone else off around us, like our family. Like, what are you talking about? You're not eating that. Well, what are you gonna eat? How are we gonna make food for you? And we're like, hey, don't worry about us. We're fine.
Yeah.
We'll be okay.
Yeah. Deanna, when you were talking about how, so you knew in terms of watching the film that you had to move away from animal-based products.
Yes.
But then you were like, okay, you had the pastas and the French fries.
Yes.
How did you figure it out?
Oh, over time, honestly, what I learned is that you really understand how your body's processing things after you transition off of certain things. And so I think that just realizing, okay, I don't feel that great, or I cannot eat another French fry. Like, this is just overkill.
Right.
And it just challenged us to kind of get in the trenches and figure it out, try different things, expose our families to different things, try different cuisines. We realized the American diet just doesn't have enough nutrients in it. It's hamburgers and pizza and hot dogs, and we couldn't eat those things. So we had to tap into other cuisines.
Yeah.
Yeah, typically it's bread, meat, and
cheese.
Yeah. Right. I mean, you go across the
potatoes.
American diet, that's what you're going to get. And potatoes.
Yeah.
That's right.
And for me, I can't cook a lick, but I can get feedback on how the food tastes.
Yes, you can.
So for us, it really was, my body likes this.
Yeah.
Let's make that again.
Yeah.
And so for the last 5 years, it's been that, this is great. Keep this on the menu.
Mm-hmm. Have you gone back to have your labs done again since you made the change?
Several times since then. Yeah.
And what was it like for you to see an improvement?
Well, we knew we were going to see an improvement. So we were like, yes, game on. Let's keep doing this.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes.
So in many ways, you have halted the possibility of maybe developing heart disease or diabetes or anything that we see in our families too.
Yes.
Because there is a lot of disease in my own family as well.
Yeah,
so that's a driving force for me.
Yeah.
So this was 5 years ago when you made the change, and you've improved ever since. And then the pandemic hit. Tell me how you survived that. What were you eating?
All kinds of things, which is kind of how the business got started. So I was working for an organization, and they wanted us to relocate. And at the time, it just wasn't the right thing for our family. And so I severed the role with them. And I was home. I was taking some nutrition courses with the community college because I was going to pursue a master's in nutrition. The ultimate goal was to do nutrition counseling and consulting and kitchen sweeps and just, helping people with the real life stuff.
Yes.
That was the goal. And I'm home, and I'm making breads from scratch. I'm making all kinds of dishes, and our neighbors, it's a very community oriented building we live in. And so they're talking about what Deanna's making. Did you try? She made this. And I'm like, stop talking about my food, please. And one of the residents comes, and she's like, hey, I got your number from such and such, and can you please make meals for me? And I'm thinking, okay, 10 extra meals, that's fine. I'll just make you what we're eating, and we'll just go from there. And within 10 weeks, we were doing over 100 meals out of our small apartment kitchen.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming you were helping in some way, Chris.
I was all over the place. I was going to get ingredients, making
Yes.
deliveries,
Yeah.
packaging things.
Yeah.
Trying to do accounting with Excel
Yeah.
Excel
Did you get
spreadsheet.
the payment from her?
Yeah, I'm like,
Did they pay?
It
I
was
don't
just-
know. They gave you a 20, I think.
it was chaos. We were
Yeah.
excited about it, but it was chaos.
So at what point, I mean, you were probably too busy to figure it out. At what point did you realize, oh my God, we have a business?
It was probably around January of that year. It was 21.
21.
And after about 4 weeks into it, we were like,
Maybe 6 weeks in, yeah.
maybe 4 to 6 weeks. We were like, this is a real need. Like people need this. They enjoy eating my cooking, which is odd. And so they keep coming back. Like they're reoccurring customers. So maybe this is a thing.
And then we decided we need to make it official. We need to make it easier.
Yeah.
And so my background is in business and Six Sigma, lean processing, and all of that. So I'm like, we have to make this easier.
Yes.
And so we decided to shut it down for just a few months.
Yeah.
And we had to develop the website, create a business plan,
secure a kitchen,
and we came back later that year, and I think we launched it in 2020, relaunched in 2022, right in January, and serviced all 2022, and
oh my God!
Yeah.
And you already had clients, the ones that you initially started working with,
and they came right back.
Oh my God!
So it's been really interesting to see people have journeyed with us through the entire process.
I love that.
Yeah.
What a supportive group you have.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Most people in general would eat healthier if someone else made the meals.
Yes.
I mean, that's the hard part. It's the having to buy knowing what to eat, buying from scratch, and then constantly having to cook your meals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And what she didn't tell you about the story about how we came about was the lady that asked her to make meals for them. She said, I don't know how to cook. I don't want to learn how to cook.
I just want you to cook for me.
That's what she said.
That is beautiful. Do you still cook for her?
Occasionally, yes. Yeah. Sometimes she ordered, and then things got crazy with her life, and so. But she's like, I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
So for our listeners, if you're not watching the video, for our listeners, Chris and Deanna are wearing their shirts, Life Plate.
Yes.
Beautiful shirts. I love that. Tell me, because you halted the program, your business, for a little bit while you kind of went back to really studying the business aspect. You branded yourself, you created this name. How did that come about?
Oh my goodness. It was exhaustive research. I think we did a lot of brainstorming. We talked about it nonstop.
Yeah, it was a lot of collaboration, a lot of research.
It was.
And we wanted the name to say what the mission was.
Exactly.
The mission of Life Plate is to influence people toward nutritious plant eating. That's what it is.
Yes.
And here's our tagline. We believe that when people eat better, they feel better.
Yeah.
And when they feel better, they live better. And that's been our story. We've been able to live. I mean, we work 12, 16 hours a day.
Oh my God.
And we have 2 little kids, 4 and 8.
Yes.
And I'm in school. And how do you do it? I mean, it's definitely the diet.
Yeah.
I think also we, when starting a business, we didn't know what we didn't know. And it was so amazing how different organizations came alongside and equipped us with, the access to Live Plan to build our business plan, or reimbursed us for filing the licensing for a business. And then provide coaching and contacts of people to help us. And so it's a community thing where people come alongside and they just kind of help you to build and grow. And we've learned a lot along the way. You think it's a food business and it's really not. We're heavily technology based. And so learning e-commerce and learning technology and learning the terms and learning about brand, and it's so much. And so we've just been in school all over again in 2023 with how businesses run today.
Yeah. What you have to offer can really save people who have busy schedules. So who are, by the way, some of your clients?
They're honestly flexitarians.
Most of them are flexitarians
who want to eat more plants. They realize that they need to eat healthier. They need access to healthier options. And some of them have had diagnosis of health, or they have a kid that has a dairy sensitivity. And so they end up buying dairy-free items, but they don't really know how to use them.
Yeah.
And so we provide just an opportunity for them to have more exposure to those things, and they end up enjoying them, and their families eat them, and it becomes a staple in their household.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are busy just like you were.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have time to prepare meals, don't have time to learn how to prepare meals, but they need them nonetheless to keep up with their busy lifestyle.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that I've learned about our customers is that our customers want to eat better,
Mm-hmm.
but don't think better eating tastes like anything. You know, they think it tastes like grass or something. So
Yes.
we get that a lot, which is why most of them are flexitarians.
You're eating that rabbit food.
And my line is put that in your mouth and then tell me.
Oh, I love that. That's a good one.
Put that in your mouth and then give me feedback.
Yes.
And so it's been great for us to experience seeing their facial expressions, hearing their feedback after they tasted the food, and watching their mind change. I mean, we're talking about a lot of people who said they would never leave their meat. Okay, I need my meat and this and this. And those are the same folks, five meals a day, 5 meals a week. I mean,
yes,
are buying from us,
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about some of the foods that we can find on your menu. And also, how does your website work? Do you deliver only locally within a certain mile radius? How does all that work?
So I'll talk about the delivery really quickly. So you can go to lifeplatemeals.com, lifeplatemeals.com, and you'll see our menu there. The way it works is you order every week up to a certain deadline, and then we deliver once a week to your home. So we deliver our meals. They're cooled. They're fresh, but they're cooled in an insulated bag, and they're right at your door. So typically all deliveries are made by 6 a.m. So when you wake up, your food's right there. Before you go to work, you put it in your refrigerator.
And then they're in an ovenable, recyclable container. So you can slide it in a toaster oven or slide it in the oven, microwave, and reheat your meal if it's a hot meal. And it just makes it really easy for people who are working, teachers. They enjoy just having access to something that makes it super easy for them to be able to continue their lifestyle of eating.
Yeah. And so I'm assuming you have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or what do your meals consist of?
So they're like lunch and dinner options.
That's a good one.
Yes, one of the aspects of our business is education. And so one of the easiest things you can do at home is make a breakfast, whether it's a smoothie or energy bites or something that you can just grab and go. And so we want to kind of make a community as it relates to plant eating. And so we don't offer many breakfast options, but we have lunch and dinner covered.
Yeah. I think that's important. And plus, a lot of people skip breakfast.
Yes.
They only have coffee or something else, for breakfast.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And then you asked about the menu. And so that's the fun part. We've been doing a lot of creating and research and development as it relates to making sure that the meals have enough protein, or some significant amount of variety of plant protein, and then just a lot of flavors. And so what you'll find is some Indian, some Asian influenced meals. You'll find like stuffed or loaded sweet potato options. You'll find different kinds of salads and quinoa bowls. You'll find what we consider to be our transitional item, which is our crispy cauliflower bites that people tend to love in like the taco form, or we'll do it with like an orange sauce, and you'll have like a fried rice. And so just a lot of textures, a lot of variety in flavors, a lot of variety in cuisines. We've implemented some jackfruit options, and so like a smoked barbecue jackfruit, or a jackfruit for carnita tacos. And so just a lot of the things that you love to eat in a traditional diet, but a very more clean, healthier plant option.
Yes. And so you're sort of the taster or tester.
Yes.
You can call either one. So you're the one that vouches or vets for some of these meals?
Oh, him and then our two daughters.
Yes.
They are like,
they become critics.
They have. You would think that they were on a cooking show.
You would.
How was it for them to transition when you started incorporating healthy meals?
So again, when you have a chef in the house, it's not hard at all. Okay. I mean, every day at the table is an adventure.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, to a different cuisine like Deanna talked about.
Yeah.
And you get to explore with her. I mean, she's in there creating something. Even if it's the same meal you had last month, she didn't make it the same way, you know? And so it's a new experience all over again. And so that's why That's how we got the menu, right? I mean, we have what, about 40?
We have
40?
more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 50 items.
Yeah, about 50 items. So we went from 1 to 50. This is how, because she's reiterating the same thing differently. And so for us, for our 8-year-old, she transitioned about
She was
3 and a
about
half.
3, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, she didn't complain. I mean, and our 4-year-old has never been on a meat diet ever.
And she doesn't even like, so I'll sometimes try to make stuff fun, and I'll do like a plant-based grilled cheese sandwich to see how they like it. And our 8-year-old's like, "Oh, mommy, this is the best thing ever." And the youngest is like, "Mommy, I don't like it." She doesn't like alternative things
at all.
And so she just wants, "Mommy, can I have some of that spinach or kale, or can I have a salad?" And she'll just eat like a salad like it's, some spaghetti or something.
So she's never had meat or dairy, and she's just as fit and active. Like just in her DNA, she's very fit. Stocky legs. I mean, you would think that she would be malnourished, right? I mean, with what we've been taught, right?
Yes.
You don't drink milk, you have weak bones or something.
Yeah.
No, she is very active and very strong.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I wonder if, since you're talking about like, being an athlete and knowing that you don't necessarily need the calcium from milk, because you can find calcium in other, like green leafy vegetables, for example.
Yes.
Is there an educational component to what you do? Like do you send out a monthly newsletter?
Yes, we do. We send out a monthly newsletter. And then we're looking forward to, once we are in our own kitchen space, to have training experiences where we can open up the kitchen or have like a class and teach people how to read the labels or how to make certain things. And so I'm looking forward to that interpersonal connection with the people a lot. But the newsletter does kind of inform on different cookbook options or just different data that's out there about plant eating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's fun because I'm the person that will pay for the class.
Yes.
I'm the person that will go.
Yes.
And when the other business that I was telling you about did that, they had like enchilada with cheese. It was like a nacho cheese, but that they created out of cashews. And that's how I learned to make cheese.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come together with other people that love that food, the company's food.
Yes.
So that's kind of like what you're looking to build.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
Right.
How exciting.
It is. It's going to be fun.
And listen, she can make a complete meal in under 30 minutes.
Oh.
And so there are different tips of the trade, right? How to cut your cooking time down, different alternatives, how to expand your seasonal palette,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to those experiences with people.
And what I love is that we get to see it often because our parents will come and visit us, our moms, and they love, what is Deana making? And so my mom was with us last night and we had like an Indian inspired meal. We had like a chickpea curry and we had steamed rice and I did some Indian spiced potatoes and some kale.
Wow.
And she was like, this is so good.
So good.
I don't know what this is, but it's good. And she was just talking about how her body felt afterwards. And so just hearing a 73-year-old who's probably used to eating some, fried chicken, mac and cheese kind of things, enjoy a plant-based meal and the effects of it.
Yeah.
It was so encouraging.
Which brings me to one of our niches in the market, right? Mm-hmm. So people want to eat healthy. People want to live longer.
Yeah.
People want to feel better, but they don't want to eat grass, air quotes, right? Yeah. So Life Plate bridges the gap, right? It makes healthy food taste desirable. Not just, they don't have to, just kind of settle for Life Plate. No, it's desirable. And so that's what makes us different. We bridge the gap in the market.
Yeah. And the idea that you can help your parents, that you can have an influence, toward a healthy influence, and impress her that way. That's beautiful.
Yes.
And are you collaborating or doing anything else with other people, like any other organization where you have the opportunity to feature your food at someone's event, for example?
So we've done a few caterings locally that allow us to be able to do that. We've done some testings in senior communities, which has been really interesting.
Yes.
And exposing them to some more plants. And they're like, I need to eat this stuff, And
we've done Veg Fest.
We did do a Veg Fest, a local Veg Fest here. And so we're looking for more opportunities to be able to do more of that because we know that the exposure from that is great. and it just has a huge impact.
Yeah. Speaking of that, when we spoke on the phone, Deanna, you talked about how important it is for you to outreach to communities that may be struggling, that may not have access to healthy options. Do you want to talk to us about that?
Yeah, so we are excited to look forward to launching our own flagship kitchen and retail area in an economically disadvantaged food desert.
Yep.
And it'll be really great to be able to have that offering in the community because they don't have a lot of those options, and just to educate. So
Yes.
that to have education and access to some plant foods is huge. And we think about our upbringing and growing up in similar places. And I don't think I ate Brussels sprouts growing up. I don't think I ate a lot of the
I didn't
things.
know about the Brussels sprouts.
Chickpeas, that wasn't a thing.
Right, yeah.
If it was greens, it was one type of green and it had smoked meat in it. And so
meat was in everything.
Meat, yeah. And so I think that just having an option to influence and just show people that, hey, like, we kind of look like you and we're eating these things and it's good and it has a huge impact on our health.
So our hope, and it's going to be in South Dallas, right south of 366, the highway, right?
Okay.
Clyde Warren says right south of that.
Oh my gosh.
And we've already been connected with 2 nonprofits right in that area already. Yeah. So both of them are partners with us and helping us to get exposure in the area. So, and we're collaborating on the best ways and routes to impact the community. Like Deanna said, education is the key.
Yeah.
Right. If you can have sessions with Deanna, get in there and you're making the food, you're going to be excited about what you learn. And you just may go home and do it at home.
Name 2 pieces of fruit that you grew up with as a child.
Apple.
Juice.
And
okay.
And bananas.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's all we knew.
Yeah.
It's same here. Yeah. I didn't know any other fruit.
Yes.
Blueberries came into my life when I was already an adult. Actually, more so when I became more plant-based.
Exactly.
What a shame.
Exactly.
What a shame.
Yeah.
Spinach, you mentioned spinach earlier. The only, my memories of spinach were horrible cafeteria food with the overcooked spinach.
Like the frozen spinach that was cooked for like an hour.
And I never got it why Popeye enjoyed spinach when it was so nasty.
Yes.
Now today, I saute spinach and garlic.
Yes.
And that's all we
shallots.
Need. Oh, there you go. Shallots. Oh my gosh.
So good.
Yes. So it's amazing that the exposure that we had early on and very limited.
Yes.
Deprived us of all those nutrients we could have had all along.
Yes.
That's right.
So we enjoy taking our daughters to the grocery store and we're in the produce section and they're like, Mommy, dragon fruit. And I'm like, yeah, we should try that. Or we'll do pomegranates and I'll do like a toasted nut and we'll have that. And they're like, Mommy, this is so, and that's our sweet treat, And
was it maple?
Oh, I'll do like a drizzle maple over the pump. And it's like, oh my goodness. And they just love it.
We have to give you that.
Yeah.
They love it. And
do you have any favorite stores?
Yeah, we kind of stay kind of local to where we are when we go to the store with the girls, which sucks because we spend so much money on those things. But we do like to visit the farmers market and see like some of the things that are in season with the local farmers. And then
Sprouts, depending on the dish.
Yes.
Oh, that's true.
Yes, or Whole Foods, depending on if they have an item that like we need. And we end up paying a premium for it.
I'm telling you. And Kroger's, it's right down
the street. It depends on which Kroger you're going.
It does.
But we stay like right in front of Deep Ellum. So there's one that's highly populated, honestly. And they have so many plant-based offerings and different access to different fruits and vegetables. And so that's essentially what our grocery cart is.
Yeah. Wow.
Don't forget Aldi.
Oh yes.
Come on now, let's give Aldi some love.
They do. And Trader Joe's, Trader
Joe's.
Yeah.
I'm there all the time now.
Yes.
And they also have great prices.
They do have great prices.
That is the shocker for me.
They honestly have we work in a shared kitchen space, and there's a lady who she's worked in culinary for years, and she's worked in hotels, and she and her family love food. And she's like, "Have you tried Trader Joe's falafel?" And I said, "No." And so one day I went in and I was like, I'm going to try this falafel. And it is honestly like a clean label and it's really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm surprised sometimes the things that I find.
Yes.
Yeah. That's awesome. Anything else you would like to share with our listeners?
Well, just so they know, we obviously, we feed the people here in the DFW area, right? You
Yes.
can,
Yeah.
prepared meals delivered to your door. But we also are feeding schools right now too.
Oh.
So we're currently feeding 5 schools, and we're looking at getting some more schools. But so Life Plate, as it relates to schools, we accommodate all diets, but we specialize in plain eating.
Because what we've noticed is with the schools that we're servicing, they're private schools, and parents care. The newer generation of parents are like, hey, I want my kids to eat healthy, and I want fresh fruits and vegetables, and I want them to eat salads and whole grains.
Yeah.
And so we're able to provide a lot of offerings. And then there's a high vegetarian and vegan population because of religious beliefs or whatever. And so we're able to meet those needs. And it's near and dear to our heart because our girls have special diets and their school can't accommodate.
Right. Yeah. Which is kind of how it came about.
Yes.
We actually serviced their school first, and then 5 schools came later.
Yes.
I mean, because people heard about us and knew about what we were doing. And so, we're influencing children. I mean, can you imagine? Okay, Maya, we talked about this. When you were in school, you had the spinach that was overcooked. It was all watery, right?
The square pizza.
Pizza. It was either not done or overdone, right?
Yes.
But they couldn't get it right. And I don't think they cared to get it right.
Right, yeah.
But can you imagine your kid going to school and they're having falafel and can you speak to something?
Oh, we had lentil bolognese today.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Wow. For the school?
Yeah.
For the school.
I love that you have this partnership. I'm like blown away because I'm like, how did you get your foot in the door?
They're
It's
private schools.
Private.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Public has not really adopted. They
That's
just
a huge
added
system.
hummus to the guidelines.
Oh my God.
So you can see how far and they're coming.
Yeah.
And so the private schools, I think that you get a different buy-in from the parents, right? And then it's not federally funded.
Okay.
So they're like, hey, whatever we have to do.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is amazing what you're doing.
And it's still in the thought process, but there are some other things that Life Plate will do.
Okay.
And so just stay tuned. I mean,
subscribe to the newsletter.
Subscribe to the newsletter. Yep.
Right.
LifePlateMeals.com and go to the newsletter.
Yeah.
But a lot of things are coming.
Wow. I'm so excited. So your social media, your branding, all of that, you have support with as well, right? Like your design and website.
So we have someone who does like our social media and communicates on our behalf. And it's actually a family member who went to school for communications and
public relations.
And she loves that. And so she's kind of helped us with the way our social media looks, and the messaging. And she works in marketing, and so she's trying to make sure that our branding is clear, which is really cool because I talked to a marketing company the other day, and he was like, "Hey, kudos to the name, like it's clear." And I was like, well, thank you, because we worked really hard on that. And so that's been cool. And you can kind of see us at Life Plate Meals and get some healthy tips and some fruits that are in season and all that fun stuff is on there. It's more an educational way that we communicate. Our focus is not to sell you. Because I feel like you'll come to that conclusion on your own. And you can try and see how you feel. But we want you to incorporate more plants into your diet if you don't have them in there already. And the site helps us to be able to do that.
And by the way, if your kid goes to a school that Life Plate does not service currently, reach out to us. I mean, we'd love to come and do a free tasting for the school and let the parents taste the food and the kids and
get the feedback.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful idea.
Well, Maya, thanks for inviting us to be here with you in the studio. It's great knowing you. I mean, great hearing your story too.
Yeah.
We really believe in influencing the world toward nutritious plain eating. I really believe that. I mean, during the pandemic, we were in the apartment with our kids. And if you have kids, you know what I mean by that. You were not on vacation. It was very difficult. But to do this while in that situation and to still be energized to date, and to continue to do it with all the challenges we've faced, we really believe in it. Why? Because we've heard different stories. We've seen lives changed. We've seen clean bills of health. And so we just want to, share with the world what's happened with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And you're doing great things.
Thank
it's an honor to have met you guys and know that you're here in Dallas. And I look forward to maybe possibly collaborating somehow.
That'd be great.
If there's a way that we can support you as well.
Yeah.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
And that's all we have for you today, friends. Thank you, Chris and Deana Young, for joining us and sharing your inspiring story and your valuable insights. If you want to learn more about their company, it's Live Plate Meals, and order their delicious meals if you are local. Visit their website, liveplatemeals.com. Remember, your health is your wealth, and making small changes to your diet and lifestyle can make a big difference. Stay healthy and stay tuned for our next episode. As always, thank you for being a listener. You've been listening to the Healthy Lifestyle Solutions podcast with your host, Maya Acosta. If you've enjoyed this podcast, do us a favor and share with one friend who can benefit from this episode. Feel free to leave an honest review as well at ratethispodcast.com/HLS. This helps us to spread our message. And as always, thank you for being a listener.